We'll call the meeting to order. Bailey, do you have a roll, please?
Sure. Commissioner Langness, Commissioner Gerard, Commissioner Keen,
Here.
Commissioner Miller,
Here.
Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Batty,
Here.
and Commissioner Black.
Here.
If you're able, we ask you to stand and please remove your hat for the Pledge of Allegiance.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes. I have a motion to approve the minutes, please, from last week, or last time.
I'll second that.
And well, actually, I need a motion first, sorry.
Oh,
That was my fault.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. All right, looks like we have a public hearing tonight on a variance request for 20110 Harrow Avenue. Donovan, I assume you're presenting.
Yes, sir. Chair, members of the Planning Commission, I'd like to present the variance request where the applicant is Brian Hosefeld. Tim and Dakota Novak are also here, the owners of the property. I'll get some video here. The property is located at 20110 Harrow Avenue, kind of in the central part of, Bailey, am I getting video?
Yeah, it just takes a second.
So in the central part of the city, it's zoned MXR1. And here's zeroing in on it, intersection of Harrow Avenue and County Road 50. Single-family home, that's the use. And this is one of the situations where the county actually administers the septic ordinance, but if there is a variance required, it goes to the city. And this is a situation where the design is fine, however, the proposed location is 50 feet from what's identified as a wetland on the site plan that was submitted to the county. So you can see on your screens, basically the septic field is that dashed rectangle. The mound area is the bold line. And so it's 50 feet from an area that's identified as a wetland. And the required setback is 75 feet. And when I visited the site, what I saw there was tall grass, and here basically this represents a stake that's part of that where the septic mound is, and looking this direction, this is the tall grass. The septic designer identified as wetlands. It's definitely a moist area. I didn't see any cattails. There's a black walnut tree back there. And here's a little more close-up look. So I'm not a wetland delineator in this case, but I think the septic designer was being cautious, and something that I do appreciate. But that is the septic variance request is to locate this septic field 50 feet from this area, and of course it doesn't show up on our on the National Wetlands Inventory is wetlands either. Going through the findings of fact, that staff finds that there is practical difficulty due to the location of the existing well, the old drain field, and limited soils on the site, and that it is a reasonable use of the property. There is a note from the county that they approve of the Planning Commission granting the variance. And right now, the staff recommendation is approval with the requirement that, or condition that the applicant receives a septic system permit prior to construction, ensures no drainage or erosion issues result from the new construction. So at this point, I'd like to take any questions from the Planning Commission.
Any questions? Mike?
Yeah, I have one, and that's the solid line, the proposed treatment area, that's a solid line around it?
That's the mound.
That's the
So
edge.
the treatment area is,
Well, I mean, that's the mound, but
yeah,
that's
so
the
the,
treatment
real
area.
business is here. and just-
Treatment area is
Is
that, it's a
it,
small.
is it possible to move that closer? I mean, I see there's a power pole there and, looks like some bushes, but it's either 21 feet on one end and 22 feet closer. I mean, is there a possibility to like move that like 10 feet?
Closer
Can that
to,
power pole be in the treatment area?
where do you see a power pole?
Those are soil boring.
Well, it's right there,
locations.
power pole.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, right on the north edge there.
Oh, right at the edge of the mound.
Yeah.
You're saying that side.
On the, see,
Yeah.
I don't see where it says north, south or anything, so I can't.
Well,
I
north is
can't-
up.
Okay,
Yeah,
North
yeah,
is
north
up,
is up,
yeah.
but yeah, I see that, so that's on the edge of the mound.
yeah. Can that be in the treatment area? That's,
Can't be,
it
I
cannot be?
don't- No, I
cannot
mean-
be within the treat, it couldn't be within this,
Okay.
that,
That's what,
that
what
dashed
my
area.
question was, because otherwise they could move that up about another 10 feet, and then it'd be 60 feet from the wetlands, and that would be, you know, a little better. But I don't know if they can have the power pole in the treatment area, if they move that whole thing north 10 feet.
I mean, I assume they can't, or else it's more of a, you know, it's part of the practical difficulty that it needs to be hemmed in there.
Okay. But I don't know what from the county point of it, you know, because I read through everything, and it's like, if they just moved it 10 feet, it's still, that's halfway pretty much, because it's 21 feet on the east side, 22 feet on the west side, so that would be, you know, 11 and 12 feet from the proposed site, the entry level at the lower side there, and.
Yeah, well, actually, they had to shift it a little further south because of that proximity to the entry. So that was moved over away from, you know, the house being here, you know, away from the house.
Is there a well shown on this drawing? The well location?
Is,
Right, but the
yeah,
well's on
further
the
up here,
north
up here.
Oh, that's up there, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the existing well's on the north side. So, well, I was just wondering if there's any type of legal issue with having that power pole in that area.
What's a power pole used for? I mean, is it,
Yeah, is it just a dead pole, or is it producing power? Is it one of the power poles that sends electricity to the house?
yeah,
Okay.
because with the mound, they're gonna have to build up the grade there.
But if it's
Yeah.
at the, yeah, I don't know what the legal issues are on that.
Do you, is that just providing power for the, electric power to the house?
Power.
Okay.
I know when the designer was out there, he said, this is the only,
Oh, well, actually, Brian, do you want to go up to the microphone and, so we can actually hear, all of us can hear what you're saying? This is the applicant, Brian Husefeld.
when the designer was on the property, when he came with his final plan, he said, this is the only spot that fits this parcel. He said, you can't put a septic on the old area. It has to be in a new area. And he did the best he could with what he had to work with, and he said, this is the only spot that fit.
Is that Mr. Sanders from the county that you're speaking of?
Well,
Joe
it's
Sanders?
the designer of the person who designed the system, SP something, but you
I
should have
see.
that
All
on
right.
file.
The sewer system or the house?
The septic system.
Okay, the septic system. Okay.
And the designer really wasn't sure if it really was a wetland. He just said, well, we're just gonna be cautious, you know? So,
Then my second question would be, is it possible to move the house north just like 10 or 12 feet? Because it looks like there's nothing there.
to move the house north?
Yeah.
The house is
The
there.
house is
Oh,
there.
the house is there. You're
Yeah.
just asking, okay,
Yeah, it's an existing structure.
Yeah, an existing system has failed.
just the sewer system.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all for me.
Any other questions? Hearing none, this is a public hearing, so if you want to come forward, if the applicant wants to come forward and talk a little bit about the project, we would entertain that now. Once the applicant is done, if anybody else wants to speak about the project, we'll talk to them, and then we'll close the public hearing, and the planning commission will decide the outcome. So, the applicant want to speak any more about the application?
I just stated that. I'm just reiterating what the designer said, and he had the county come out and they worked together, and that this was the best possible scenario for the parcel. And that's all I have to say, thanks.
Great, thank you. Would anyone else like to speak regarding this matter? If so, please come forward. Would anyone else like to speak? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing and we'll bring it back to the commission to discuss. Mike?
Donovan, did you have conversations with Joe Sanders at the county?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's okay with it and,
Yeah, he read it. I don't think the thing I stressed was that, as Commissioner Batty mentioned, they did declare that the septic system was failing and the county is requiring some replacement. And he said that, it's actually, they do point of sale inspections now, or that's the first time I heard of it, actually, so. And this is, there's only one other septic variance we've processed, and it was a similar age of 73, 74, and a failing system over on, I guess it was on Imperial. He was in support of this application.
Any other thoughts? Donovan, I have a question. It seems to me that when we have a septic system, we need to make sure there's always an alternative site in case, like in this, where a septic system fails. If we approve this, where would be the alternative or the backup site if this system fails?
Well, the alternative for this one is they would go to, I believe it's called a type 3 system, where you do not have the 3-foot separation from the water table, which is much more expensive. And, but also part of this is, this is within the MUSA. This is actually MXR1 zone. It's the most southeasterly zoned parcel of that zoning district. So I can, imagine by the time this one fails, say in 40 years, development would have come all the way out to this area.
well,
We hope it lasts for
and this
More,
technically is,
other kinds of, public water and sewer
Yeah.
is what I mean.
they had the initial system, this is the backup location
Right.
technically, so.
Right.
How many backups do you have to have?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
All right, well, hearing no more discussion, I guess we'll open it up for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to approve it with the findings of fact as staff has presented to us.
Second?
Hearing a first and a second, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
There we go.
I'll send a letter.
Next item on our agenda is the final planned unit development application for Headwaters. Donovan? Thank you. I assume you're presenting.
Thank you. What I'd like to present is the next chapter in the ongoing story of Headwaters Place. Headwaters Place, of course, is located on Forest Road, just north of the Harwood Creek Transit Center and Service Center, and over by the YMCA. As seen here on the final plat, consists of 30 twin homes, a single road in. This was a preliminary plat that was reviewed and recommended for approval by the Planning Commission. So what you're seeing now is the plat that the applicant plans to take to council, and it does not have the roundabout that we discussed at that preliminary stage, but still has the same 30 lots, no changes with dimensions of the lots or any of the configuration. The PUD flexibilities sought for the final PUD amendment is to establish a lot minimum width and area. You can see the minimum lot width currently, according to the Headwaters PUD, is 50 for a single detached townhome. There's no actual, it's not equivalent as far as a twin, there's no duplex within the Headwaters PUD currently, but so it's not, that's kind of apples to orange comparison. That's the closest one I could do. And they're proposing a minimum lot width of 32 feet. The current lot area for a detached is 5,000 or 7,000 square feet. Minimum proposed lot area would be 5,000 with the amendment. Setbacks are related again to the twin home, and showing your screen have the current and proposed. Still maintain that 15. Besides the common wall for the duplex, 15-foot separation between the actual structures, and it's somewhat comparable setbacks otherwise. With this twin home type development, a 3 trees per lot is requested, shown here, kind of 1 in the front and 2 in the rear. Some really good extensive buffering between the airport property and the future, multiple family common bond apartment building there. And of course, just remind you that there are trees surrounding the other 2 sides of the development. And then finally, for the PUD amendment is to establish parking standards of 2 enclosed and 2 off-street parking spaces. And so, of course, this is the final PUD amendment, which Planning Commission makes a recommendation to council for. And there are other pieces of this involving the land sale and a vacation of easements and the trail, which is still a little under discussion for exact location, but that will connect this Fitzgerald Trail, proposed road to the Fenway Fields. And at this point, I'm happy to take any questions from the Planning Commission.
So what's up in the air about the trail?
Currently, on this north end, an alignment that was walked by staff, the project team, and members of the Parks, Lakes, and Trails Commission, where the subject.
Where it is actually not on this plat, it's where it's gonna come in, is
Yeah,
that right?
the trail
Yeah,
start.
okay, yeah,
It's
fine.
off, it's just,
I was gonna
I'm
say
filling you
that.
in, there's many different moving parts of this.
Yes.
So
Yep.
just filling you in on another piece.
Yep.
And the trail, actually, this is a protected wetland, there's a buffer here that's administered by Bowser. And so there's discussion around how close can the trail be. And ideally, this is hard packed, this is currently a walked area. And, seems to me like it'd be ideal place. However, there's that restriction, so the project team's working on, on either some sort of, if Bowser, the Bureau of Water and Soil Resources will allow that type of encroachment, or else they'll be, taking more trees out on this edge here.
Put a boardwalk in.
Or a wood chip trail.
We shall see.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Anyways, that's part of the ongoing discussions, but before the Planning Commission this evening is the, is the PUD, proposed PUD amendments.
Any other questions?
Donovan, on the landscaping plan, You said 3 trees per twin unit building or per unit?
Per lot.
Per
Yeah.
lot.
Per lot, which would be half the unit, which, and it doesn't look like there's 3 on each one of those.
Yeah, I should say
Yeah,
per,
there's 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, are they counting some of the,
I'm counting.
Two different kinds.
This is where I counted, you know, basically these bold lines being one lot, though obviously it does pretty much add up to, you know, 3 per structure.
when you look at all the landscaping they're doing throughout the whole site? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying what's there, then plus the screening. And so, I mean, I didn't do a calculation on
Yeah, it's okay.
the total per lot, you know, to average out, but
What about an entrance monument? Are they talking about doing an entrance monument?
there's not one proposed in the site plan. Dave, can you illuminate us on that one?
If you'd like to.
Mr. Dave Hempel, the applicant?
I'll address a couple of points. I'll write it down, or you speak to the matter now.
We're pretty open here tonight. Come on up, Dave. Please say your name and your address for the record.
There's not a
Thank you.
list. Or wait.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. David Hempel with Westwood Professional Services, 12701 Whitewater Drive, Suite 300, Minnetonka, 55343. The monument question, that is a good question. Right now, there's none proposed. I would anticipate maybe the multifamily common bond site coming in with something. But for the twin home product right now, there's no plan for a monument. If I could maybe just touch on the trail discussion a little bit as well, update everybody on that. Continue to work with Bowser and Rice Creek. There's an existing, what they call a declaration of restriction over the wetland. And we finally got the documents, the boundary survey for that, and we'll have that staked to see exactly the limits of the easement. And just preliminary looking at it today, I feel very confident that we'll be able to fit that trail in between the wetland easement and those existing trees along the current walkway that we have out there. So that's good news. So we'll continue to work through that.
Now, will that trail be built by the developer all the way north?
That's correct. That was one of the PUD requirements with the initial first phase, that we connect from Forest Road all the way to the Fenway Park ballpark, match up with the existing trail there. About a quarter mile almost.
Any other questions for the applicant?
Do you have a price range of what your target is for these units?
Unfortunately, I do not have that. We're still working, Mr. Pratt's still working with a builder to get the product.
Is Pratt gonna build them, or is he?
At this point, no.
No.
No, he's searching for a twin home builder.
Let's see.
Other questions? Mike?
I want to say that I voted against this at the preliminary PUD, and the reason I voted against it was because I was not in favor of having Fitzgerald Trail going north. I mean, I don't recognize what's happening there, and I thought that ought to be cul-de-sac. This has gone through the council, it has been approved, so I will vote for approval of this tonight,
Thank you.
changing my vote.
If there's no other questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Hearing none, then we'll look for a motion.
I move that we approve moving this forward to the city council, recommend to the city council approval of this final plat,
PUD.
PUD.
PUD with the conditions noted.
With the conditions of the city.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Hearing a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Good luck with the project. Well, good luck with the council. All right, that moves us to other. Bailey, Donovan, any other?
We will not have a planning commission meeting on August 22nd, so you can go fishing or something like that. And the planning commission the city council did authorize the sending of the comp plan draft to the affected jurisdictions. So, and I just got back some edits from Bolton and Mink today, and so that'll be going out soon. And we still have some more exciting applications coming forward. So we'll look forward to those. And that's really it for me. Do you have any questions?
What's exciting applications?
Exciting is, what's been submitted, so. I
Oh,
guess-
yeah, I saw his eyes light up.
Well, there's Norhart, which is Mike Keating's company, has proposed another building south of the Mill Pond Forest buildings over with frontage on 11th Avenue. North Lakes Academy is proposed to build a K through 8 school building. I think it's 39,000 square feet, 28 classrooms over on 232nd Street.
232nd?
Yeah,
Okay.
just between Everton and Broadway. And then also got another school project to rebuild a new high school monument sign. And another applicant who was one of the people who was looking to have a accessory structure on non-riparian lot. So that's a CUP and then little variance twist on that one.
North Shore?
On North Shore.
I knew they were coming.
Anything else?
And then, those are the main ones, I think, so.
So what's the special city council meeting for?
This Friday, they're interviewing candidates for the city administrator position. And so the list of candidates are on the door there.
Is that open to the public?
Yes.
What time is your interview?
My one, I think it's during lunch when they're all gone or something.
Oh, Dana's applied though,
Dan is the
right?
final candidate, yeah. So this is, what they're doing right now is trying to winnow down these numbers to, I believe, the 3 or 4 candidates, to be finalists. Is that correct, Bailey? Correct. Yeah.
Looking for a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Any seconds?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? We're done.
We're out of here.
Record time, huh?